to Handmade at Home. I'm Dennis.
I'm Andrew.
We're the Crafty Lumberjacks. We recently made some small upgrades to our kitchen right over there, but honestly, there's not a lot of storage and there's still barely any counter space.
So today we're gonna make a DIY macrame produce hammock to clear up some of that counter space.
Yes, and this way our fruits and veggies can hang out in style. Now, we've made a handful of different macrame projects for the channel, and honestly, it's a bit time consuming. But what I love about it is that essentially you can make anything with just a few materials.
Yeah, and you can really customize it to your space. Our hammock is gonna sit right under one of our shelves. So the first thing we wanna do is just measure out the space and see what we're working with.
We decided that we want our macrame fruit hammock there to be about 20 inches in length. We're actually going to be using our table here to measure, and we also determined that we need 16 individual pieces of macrame cording.
Yes, and a standard macrame tip is to cut about 4 times the length you think you're gonna need for your final project. We don't know if we're really gonna need that much, but we just wanna err on the side of caution. And with all the scraps, we can end up using them for another project.
Yes, we don't want to do all that tying and then find out that it's too short or something like that. But you know, the best part about the macrame cording is it's very, very inexpensive, and it comes with a whole bunch. So they kind of allow you to mess up and correct your wrongs there. One tip that I like to do, because the macrame frays when you cut it, I like to wrap my center there with a little piece of painter's tape and then cut it in the center, just so that I have 2 ends with painter's tape that will kind of keep it from fraying.
Yeah, because this frays a lot.
Yes, and then I can start with my new piece here, and it already has a piece of painter's tape there. So now we're just gonna start cutting 16 individual pieces of rope. Whee! Anyone wanna play some jump rope?
Double Dutch?
Yes.
Did you play Double Dutch as a kid?
No.
I used to.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, you got legs for days, mama.
I know. I would Double Dutch all recess long.
Yes.
It was always me and the girls Double Dutching.
Shocking.
Double Dutching, hopscotching. Sometimes, I got into the Foursquare, you know?
Foursquare?
Foursquare. You ever play Foursquare?
No.
All right. Well, you're missing out.
We have our dowels cut to size here. They're a little bit smaller than our shelves, but of course you do you, whatever size that works for you. You know, make it your own. So ours are about 8 inches in length. We're only gonna be working with the one dowel to start with. And rather than doing a traditional lark's head knot, which is something like this, you kind of do this and then pull the macrame through, we wanted to try to create a little fringe. So rather than doing that, I'm actually just going to take the end of my macrame cording here and just tie a knot. And I'm going to leave a little overhang, because at the end there, like I said, we're hoping to create a little fringe. And I just want to make sure this is really secure, so I'm just going to actually do a double knot. And again, that's the beauty about macrame. You can kind of make it your own, use whatever knots that you like, that you're experienced with, and kind of get knotting.
Get knotting.
Get knotting. That looks pretty good. So now I'm just gonna start to tie all the rest of my ropes across the dowel there till I have 16. Yeah, and you wanna make sure that it's really tight there, because this is gonna be holding some heavy fruit. What'd you call me?
Some heavy fruit.
All right, they look pretty good. And now I'm just going to evenly space them out across the dowel there and try to get them to go all in the right direction. And then we're going to start adding our macrame knots. Now we're going to start creating our pattern, but before I do, I'm going to tape down my rod here, just because we want a little bit of tension while we work. Traditionally, you would work with it upright, kind of hanging on a wall or something like that, but I'm gonna be working on the table here. So I'm just going to secure my dowel in place using the painter's tape, and then I'm gonna start creating my pattern. And now we're gonna start with a half knot, which is you need 4 pieces of rope. So I'm gonna start on the end here. And essentially what I'm gonna do is create an L shape, or a 4 or an L. And then the outside piece here, we want to pull over that other piece, like so. And then we're actually gonna take our 4th piece here and we're gonna pull it through the back and through that little loop we created. and pull it taut. This is a half knot. And basically it is the start of a square knot, which is what I'm going to start going into next. So we have that, and now we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side, starting with the L across, bringing this piece on top, and then pulling it through behind these two pieces of rope here and through the knot there on the right-hand side, and pull it nice and taut till you have a square knot.
It does seem a little confusing at first, but you know, you start doing it and it gets easier and easier.
Yeah, you get into the groove, you know? So I'm gonna continue my row here, doing the same thing. I always like to start on one direction just so I don't get confused here and everything looks even, Steven. So I'm gonna start to my left. So again, creating the 4, taking this piece, pulling it over, and then taking it and putting it behind the center 2 pieces. And then again, repeat. So this way, you make the little 4 or the L, pulling this over, and then taking the end of the rope and putting it through the back behind these 2 pieces, creating your square knot. Now to continue, I'm going to measure down. We want about 1.5 inches, 2 inches between each set of knots there. And rather than doing the same 4, I'm gonna take the inside 4 here and work with that. So, and I'm gonna take my 4 pieces on the inside and do the same process. So creating the L or the 4, pulling this over, and then taking the end of the rope and pulling it behind the center 2 pieces and pulling it nice and tight. I'm gonna remeasure that before I complete my square knot there. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, that looks pretty
good.
good.
Because we don't want too many holes that our fruit is falling out.
Yeah, and I think over time it's gonna stretch a little bit, so.
Yes, the tighter the better. That's good to think about. Very repetitive. What I like about this is after a while it becomes very mindless. You can just kind of get into the zone here, and before you know it, you'll end up with a cute little macrame. What is this called?
Like a hammock.
Hammock, yes, there it is.
Yeah, you can already see like the net forming just from switching the rope.
Yes, next time we need to try like a giant hammock.
I don't think so.
Well, why? You always get to just sit and watch.
I know, actually that's my favorite part about macrame.
It's that I do it usually. So for my 3rd row here, I'm actually gonna do 2 sets of square knots because this hopefully will be the area where the fruit kind of starts to climb up to. And we really wanna make sure that the center part of our hammock is nice and secure. So rather than just doing the 1 square knot, I'm going to do a set of 2 square knots.
Yeah, that way just everything is really secure. That fruit's not gonna go anywhere.
There he goes.
Except for in our belly.
Hey-o. I decided to change my original plan here. So I was gonna do all 2 sets of square knots kind of in the center of the hammock there, but I'm kind of alternating now between 1 square knot and then a pair of double square knots. And that's kind of the beauty of macrame is as you're seeing it, you can change it up to your liking. And you know, this is easier to do the single square knots. I'm just doing that.
Yeah, love it. You're doing great. Keep working.
You're doing
nothing.
We're almost there. It's looking pretty awesome. I'm
Yes.
feeling pretty groovy, but pretty naughty. I had horrible flashbacks to my days of working at Auntie Anne's Pretzels.
And I had flashbacks to a vacation because I've really done nothing. But I'm gonna take over and I'm going to attach all the loose strings just like we did in the beginning to the end. So I'm just gonna double knot them all to the dowel.
It's looking really good.
It
We're
is.
almost there. If you want to, you can secure it with a little bit of glue if you're feeling a little paranoid.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
A little glue would go a long way.
But now we're gonna add the fringe. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these and we're gonna give it a good trim and then comb it out. Now they sell something that's called a fringe comb. You could buy one, but what we like to use is a pet brush. We found this at the dollar store. It's not the same one we use for Teddy. It's a different one. But we're just gonna cut it and then comb it out.
Yes.
Comb it out. that's about it.
Yes, now we're gonna hang it. We got these screw-in cup hooks from the hardware store. You're just gonna screw them into the bottom of our shelves and then hang up our hammock.
All right.
Can't wait.
It looks really good.
Yes, I know. I told you, just a few knots and some basic materials, you can create anything.
Yeah, and it's definitely going to clear up some counter space. So we
Yes.
want to know, are our fruit and veggies hanging out in style, or did it take too long a while?
Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Have a groovy day.
Bye.